Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy. I hate the way people look at me when I lose weight. I've constantly gone back and forth between being fit and obese throughout my life. I turned 26 this month, and I don't want to keep oscillating. I do want to be healthy and look well, but I keep sabotaging myself. It seems that as soon as other people start noticing my weight loss, I start getting really uncomfortable. I notice the way men gawk at me at the supermarkets and how their wives glare toward me as if I should be punished. The people close to me will poke and pinch my stomach and say things that are meant to be taken well, but I end up being offended. I often wish they would just not say anything, even if they're happy about my weight loss. I think I start stress eating because I don't know how to process the attention. I feel vulnerable and like a piece of meat that attracts people with ulterior motives. Does this sound familiar to anyone else? I'd really appreciate some advice. For me, weight was a safety blanket. I was so used to, as a young woman, the world having a right to my body, tell me to smile more, and make creepy comments. That near enough stopped when I got fat. I felt safe and invisible. I was unattracted to men and non-threatening to women. But in reality, I was still giving the world ownership of my body, but hiding it under layers of fat. The world can think what it likes about my body, but I'm the only one whose opinion matters anymore. Yeah, this was also me. I'm back to a healthy weight now, but I loved being invisible when I was fat. I loved it. I loved being ignored. I loved not having doors open for me, not being aggressively checked out or catcalled or stared at. I loved being left alone at bars. My mom complains about being old and missing the male attention, and while I can't predict my feelings in the future, the prospect of becoming sexually invisible again based on something as beautiful as aging is so beautiful. I was taken more seriously before. I felt like I was valued for the qualities I was more proud of, and women were kinder. Of course, that came at the expense of so much else. I wasn't personally happy with the way I looked or felt. I didn't get to wear the clothes I wanted, my partner was less attracted to me, my skin was bad, and my sleep sucked. Obviously, the benefits to losing weight dramatically outweigh staying overweight, but the attention is absolutely one aspect that I hate. People in your inner circle will always be thrown off by a change in your appearance, because you have thrown off the equilibrium of the group dynamic, which is a complicated way of saying that people hate change because they don't know how to process it and are uncomfortable. It also makes them question their own weight and health, and rather than dealing with it, they lash out at you, the source of the discomfort. I've definitely experienced this because my weight has been fluctuating 40 to 50 pounds since I was 13. I'm really sorry that you're coping with this. I don't think there's much to be done about strangers other than ignoring them. Or if somebody is really notably staring and you feel safe doing so, you can tell them it's rude to stare at people. But for people close to you, you can set boundaries. You can say, I prefer we not discuss my body. So how have you been doing lately? Or some other change of topic. If people get used to the idea that you don't want comments about your body, then if they are good people, they will stop making them. The problem is that some people mean well, but they just don't realize it's hurting you. The people who do so after you make it clear you don't want them to do so do not mean well. And then you gotta figure out how to deal with learning that some people you thought cared about you do not respect you. But hopefully your problem is just that people too close to you with good intentions. I've had people look at me disapprovingly when I was clothes shopping. I've had men be attracted to me because they thought I was pregnant. What the frig? Plenty of people judge me hard when they see me literally exist, because obesity isn't that common where I live, so I stand out. So I think it doesn't really matter if I'm thin or fat, or in between. People will always look at me and have their own opinions. I might as well be how I want to be and like myself, because people will stare and have their opinions regardless. But I'd personally like to put a stop to touching. I rarely hug people or initiate contact, and if people, regardless of who they are, constantly poke me, I'd be like, yeah, no, you're not doing that again without my permission. This is so relatable. I eat to hide my body too, only I'm not 26 anymore, I'm 34. And after going up and down my weight so many times, there are things about my body that have changed forever. Loose skin that will sag no matter how thin I get now. My advice to you is, before correcting your diet, seek therapy or some other method to work on the discomfort you have with all the attention you get when you're thin. In therapy, I've worked on my self-talk around this. I tell myself I'm not responsible for other people's reaction to my appearance. And it's true. I'm not responsible for how other people act. It has nothing to do with me. I have by no means finished dealing with this issue myself. It's quite hard, but I wish so much that I'd reframed it before, yo-yoing over the years since I was 26. Original poster, it's not just in your head. Don't let anyone here let you think it's just in your head, or that you need to reframe it all as positive attention. In my opinion, it's definitely not all positive attention. Men don't understand that much of the time, women just want to be left the hell alone. They think that we should be so very flattered and appreciative of all the unwanted attention. Ugh, I hated the attention the last time I lost weight. I hated it so much that I gained it all back and then some. Well, this time I need to keep off the weight for health reasons, so I've needed to develop a frig you all kind of attitude. The attention isn't flattering. Some of it is indeed incredibly inappropriate, where men won't take no for an answer. I hate it with every ounce of my being. Sorry sis, it's unfortunately very much a thing. I'm about twice your age, and people still feel entitled to comment on my body size and shape. I still get men staring at me from their cars, as I do runs on the sidewalk. Male coworkers saying, "Oh, you took the weight off, you look great." And then a few months later, "Oh, you've kept it off." Female coworkers drilling me for the secret. And now that I'm older, some people will get the concerned look and ask if the weight loss is intentional, and they are just making sure I'm not sick. Like they are entitled to my medical conditions should they exist. I never bring it up. I do my best to dodge the questions and the leering looks, but some people are just relentless in inserting themselves into other people's personal business. It's up to you as to how you deal with it, because people are going to be doing this to you regardless. I know that my body has allowed me to run 4 marathons, have a moderately successful cycling career, and hike all over God's creation. When people who've known me for maybe a year or two and see me at one of my higher weight oscillations, they see me as someone who has been a fatty for life. So any weight loss must be a new achievement, and continued success must be contingent on receiving throwaway compliments in the hallway at work. F 'em. I simply say thank you and do not offer any additional information. When somebody asks me how I did it, I don't eat. If they press, don't even worry about it. If they press more, I gotta get back to work. For the creeps in cars, I usually make a show of turning my back to them, or if I'm in a bad mood, I'll flip on the bird. Maybe not the classiest, but I've been dealing with this crap for many years, and I am tired. Good luck sis, be well. I literally was saying this to my cousin this morning, and I think he thought I was being arrogant or something, but I'm fed up of people staring at me in public. It's frustrating. Men stare and women glare. I didn't lose weight and get healthier so I could be ogled in the street by every Tom, D, and Harry. Obviously, I was hoping the weight loss would make me look and feel more attractive, but the unwanted attention just makes me feel like A, public property, and B, like I must have been really unattractive when I was fat for there to be so many comments. I've actually said in frustration to family who wouldn't stop commenting on my weight loss, right, I'm putting it all back on. It seems stupid and arrogant to feel like this sometimes, but I would kind of like to retreat back into my fat body where no one even looked at me. Not enough to actually do it though. Just gotta walk around like you own the place and let them look. I steadfastly ignore oglers, and sometimes I smile at glaring women to show them that I'm just another person with no designs on their man, lol. But yeah, it's friggin' annoying. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. These are all my notebooks since I first started journaling in December 2019. I write to reflect on my thoughts, experiences, and goals, including those on my weight loss journey. Writing has played a part in my success in making lifestyle changes and building new, healthy habits.